Mhm. And welcome, bench warmers, to Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio. Hello, everyone. I'm Joey Dean. Glad to be with you. It's been a week, or better, almost a week, since I was last with you, as we had Garden City Wind baseball. The last time I talked to you, that was when they won the championship. Now, I've had a little bit of time off. As welcome to Riding the Pine. Presented by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City. Go check them out on Facebook at AAA Pawn Shop, as they've got all sorts of giveaways going on all the time. So make sure you go check that out. We are live at Pig Phatz Barbecue. That's right. We've been at Pig Phatz a number of times, but not in this way, as we are at a brand new location of Pig Phatz Barbecue, 210 East Spruce in Garden City. You can come down and check out the place here. It's really kind of a cool, kind of throwback barbecue look on the inside. And he's got some memorabilia on the walls and such. Checkered tablecloths as well. It's really a cool setup. They're doing the ribbon cutting right now outside, and then everybody will be coming in. We'll take some shots throughout the show of people milling about here at Pig Fats Barbecue. But the menu they've got now: brisket plate, pulled pork plate, rib plate, hot link plate, pork belly burnt end plate. That's the plates that are served with two sides and a roll. You can get sandwiches, a brisket, pulled pork, or a hot link sandwich. They do a la carte sides of baked beans, coleslaw. Their mac and cheese is very good. H is a big fan of that. Potato salad, green beans as well. So check out them on Facebook. It's Pig Fats Barbecue, but they've got a temporary grand opening menu. They're no longer at the Main Street Food and Brew Hall. We'll be cutting a new commercial for them here this weekend, but they are here at 210 East Spruce Street in Garden City. So there you go. Uh, that has your lunch plans, your dinner plans written all over it. Come on down here. They'll be open until they sell out today. And like I said, they're getting ready to open here in just a couple of minutes uh, with serving folks as people are outside uh, for the grand opening ceremonies as they're cutting the ribbon and all that as well. Don't forget you can text 620-222-0898 is the number, 222-0898. You can text the show and join us as we welcome you to Riding the Pine. It's been a couple of weeks as I had to take some time to do Garden City Wind stuff. It just kind of consumed my life there for a couple of weeks as Garden City went throughout the playoffs. That's what we'll kind of talk about. First, we haven't had a chance to talk about that really at length, other than during the broadcasts themselves. But an incredible year for the Garden City Wind as they capture their first Pecos League championship and did so in style. They played very, very well throughout the regular season, but that's something we've seen year in and year out with Garden City. They tend to win in the regular season. It's the postseason where they've had their struggles in the last 2 years. Those struggles ended in the Mountain Division Championship Series as they were swept both 24 and 25 in that Mountain Division Championship Series. So it kind of felt like the same old. When they got down, they were down 10-5 going into the bottom of the eighth inning against Roswell in Game 3 of that Mountain Division Championship Series. They came all the way back. They won it. And I told everybody, it felt to me, as a guy who's been with the team for 10 years, 9 seasons, 10 years though, thanks COVID. But it felt to me like that was more the championship for Garden City than going on and winning the Pecos League Championship. I compared it to the 1980 Olympics when the United States defeated Russia in the quarterfinal, or I'm sorry, in the semifinals, and then still had to win the gold medal game a couple of days later. That's what it kind of felt like to me for Garden City. They got past that roadblock of winning of the Mountain Division Championship series. Finally getting past that, and then it kind of felt like a foregone conclusion at that point. It was more anticlimactic than it probably should have been, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The drama, the climax of it all was winning that Mountain Division Championship series and getting to move on to host the Pecos League Championship, and then sweeping Martinez. We all expected to lose game number one. Every one of us in the press box, after winning the night before the way that they did, and then everybody celebrated, and then had to get right back on the field and play game one on Friday after finishing up Thursday evening. We expected Garden City to drop game one, and they fell behind 6-0 early. But that team, they showed throughout this season their resilience and their ability to come back. And they were able to chip away and get game one, and then just take care of business in game number two and leave no doubt. And I think that was the perfect way for Garden City to do that, to win that championship series. So, congratulations to the Garden City Wind. 2026 Pecos League Championships, or champions. They join the Southwest Kansas Storm over in Dodge City, the arena football team over there, as champions in 2026. As Southwest Kansas Storm a couple months ago won the NAL championships. So, National Arena League and the Pecos League have champions just 45 minutes from each other. That's really pretty cool. The only two professional sports franchises in Western Kansas, and they both won titles in 2026. So it's pretty awesome to be Southwest Kansas person right now. We're known for our championships. That's what it is. But that gives me the opportunity to shift gears and here in a couple of weeks, we will start high school football here on Dry River Radio. Now that baseball's done and over, we will focus on football. We'll start in Ingalls as Granada, Colorado will come over and play the Ingalls Bulldogs. A little six-man action in week number one. We'll only do 7 of the 8 weeks this year, as I have a prior commitment on one of the weeks in October, October 2nd, I think it is. I have to be in Kansas City, but otherwise, we will have high school football throughout the regular season, and then we'll see how it plays out for the postseason. And then we've already got our regular season mapped out for basketball as well. You can see both of those schedules on our Facebook page. Just search for Dry River Radio, and you can follow Dry River Radio for all the updates of high school sports that we'll have. I'll also go and share that post on Riding the Pines Facebook page as well. So make sure you're following both of those pages, and of course we'll have live video for the high school football and basketball games during the regular season. So if you can't make it to a game, you can always watch on our YouTube channel. Or you can listen for free on the Dry River Radio app. So, a couple of different ways that you can take in some high school football and basketball. Very excited about what should be a very good season. I think Ingles is going to be good. I think South Gray is going to be good. And I expect Cimarron to be much improved. I'm expecting good things out of the Gray County schools. Some other area schools, Holcomb's going to be salty. Ashland moves back down to 6-man from 8-man, so they're going to be a team to look out for. Expecting good things out of Syracuse as well. And of course, Scott City, always a threat. So, and Dighton, same way. So we'll see who steps it up this year. But like I said, I've got high hopes for the two smaller Gray County schools in South Gray and Ingalls. I really expect them to have successful seasons, and then we uh, could see Cimarron making a run as well in 11-man. It's really cool that Gray County, you got 6-man for Ingalls, 8-man for South Gray, and then 11-man for Cimarron, the three schools in Gray County. The full classification. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun year. We start with Ingalls, and we'll kind of go from there. but there will be some Cimarron games. There will be some South Gray games throughout the regular season broadcast, and that goes for basketball as well. As we shifted our focus from trying to cover all of Southwest Kansas, it got kind of difficult to manage that. As just one person, so we'll cover all of Southwest Kansas, but with the caveat of a Gray County school being involved, as our main sponsorships focus on Gray County and then Finney County as well. But the reality is that Garden City and Holcomb in Finney County, they already have radio stations that follow them. So and they have TV departments with the high schools. So um, it didn't make sense to double up on the coverage there. It makes more sense to focus in on Gray County, which is just kind of lost in the shuffle sometimes between Dodge City and Garden City. So all those people in Gray County, they come to Garden City to shop and they go to Dodge City to party. And because Dodge City has the nightlife, it has the arena and everything. So it goes hand in hand, but um, Gray County is kind of forgotten sometimes. So we're making sure that it is not forgotten here on Drive River Radio. So that's what we've got coming up here on Drive River Radio. Riding the Pine will get back to its regular schedule over the next few months as we get psyched up for high school sports. It's already fast approaching. Age started school last week, so um, yeah, I can't believe that we're already to August, mid-August already, as we start to into the later stages of this summer. And September will be here before you know it. High school football, college football, NFL, all kicking off in September. So it's going to be rapid fire here. I was joking the other day, yesterday actually. I said that I had kind of fallen behind on some of the other projects that I have, whether it's carving rocks or working on stuff, trying to add music to Drive River Radio and all that. I said that the wind season went a couple weeks longer than what I expected it to, and that's a good thing. It's the first time that we've had to deal with that championship off season where it's a shorter off season than anybody else. So um, I'm glad, but like I said, I have fallen behind on a lot of stuff. So I'm going to try to get caught up and get everything squared back away. But really glad to have a couple of sponsors back for high school sports this year. Just signed on. Phatz Barbecue will be joining us as a high school sports sponsor. AAA Pond and Armory will be back as well. And then uh, Bison Mercantile in Ashland has joined us for the full season of both football and basketball also. So, uh, welcome to all of them. We'll be getting the other sponsors lined out here over this next week and getting that finalized. And then we'll get posters out to everywhere so that you can see. And of course, we'll put them online so you can see what games we'll have and when. And of course, we'll have our game day flyers that'll tell you exactly how to watch or listen to high school sports here on Tri River Radio. Once again, we're here at Pig Fats Barbecue. It is the grand opening of Pig Fats Barbecue here at 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Frankie and Beth have done a fantastic job of putting this place together. They're finishing up right now the ribbon cutting ceremony just outside. But if you're watching on Facebook Live and not just listening, if you're checking out Facebook Live, you can see our camera that's set up right behind me here that's looking toward the front counter. That will be full of people by the time we are done with the show today. So we will keep an eye on that and very excited about the new endeavors for Frankie and Beth and known them for a handful of years now. Fantastic people and very excited that they now have a standalone location. They're no longer part of the Main Street Food and Brew Hall. They have their own location, and it's at 210 East Spruce. I even wore my Pig Fats Barbecue T-shirt that they gifted me a few months ago. So thank you to them for that, and I wore it today to commemorate the occasion. And I'll be changing clothes by the time the end of the day comes. It is very hot, and I will be at the Cimarron celebration tonight. If you got nothing to do, come down and check out the Cimarron celebration. All sorts of things going at the Cimarron Crossing Park. 5 to 9 is the Cimarron celebration, and I'll be running the sound for the whole thing and emceeing the event as well. Just sent off a dozen speakers to be used throughout the park. So come down, check it out. The Cimarron celebration, 5 o'clock this evening in Cimarron, Kansas at the Cimarron Crossing Park. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll start talking about some sports. Let's talk about the Royals a little bit, huh? That's all coming up right here in just a moment. It's Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pond and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio.
When you're hungry for some real Kansas barbecue, there's only one place you need to go, and that's Phatz Barbecue in the Garden City Main Street Food and Brew Hall. Come try out some of Frankie's award-winning brisket or pulled pork. Mix it in with some mac and cheese, or make it a sandwich. And don't forget about the pork belly burn-ins, a local favorite. Get there early, because when they sell out, and they sell out fast. So slam that barbecue craving with some Phatz Barbecue. Find them on Facebook for hours and specials. Phatz Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Garden City Wind. Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas, with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Riding the Pine here on a Friday. Happy Friday to you. We are at Phatz Barbecue here in Garden City. 210 East Spruce in Garden City is their grand opening of Phatz Barbecue. And as you can see, folks are already in line and getting their orders in. I am sending Tank to get my order put in because I am hungry. You can go ahead and get it to go, buddy. We'll probably have to eat ours on the road, but Tank is going to get up and get in line, and lots of folks. The line is out the door right now as people are ready to get their Phatz Barbecue on. New standalone location, 210 East Spruce in Garden City, so make sure you come check it out. They opened at noon today. They'll open at 11 moving forward, and they will go until they sell out. So come down to Phatz and check them out. 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Make sure you follow Phatz Barbecue on Facebook as well. We are live here at Phatz, and it's time to talk a little bit of baseball. The Kansas City Royals just swept the Oakland Athletics, and you're like, okay, yeah, big deal. This is what the Royals do. And if you haven't followed the rules the last few years, this is really what they do. Somehow they're still alive for a wild card, as they are currently sitting, let's see here, get an update here. currently sitting 8.5 games out of a wild card spot. And, you know, the Royals do this, like I said, every single year they do this. By the way, shout out to Andrew Downs in Australia, who is tuning in. So shout out to my brother, Andrew Downs, who is tuned in. But this is what the Royals do every year. They get out to this awful start, and then they put along throughout the regular season, and then they play well in late August and into September, and well enough that you start going, well, what might have been? And then ownership does nothing in the off season, and we just do it all again the next year. That is what the Kansas City Royals do. And the frustrating part is the what if in this season is a big what if, because they've got a couple of guys starting pitching wise that are very good. The bullpen has been awful. That has been the Achilles heel of this team this year. But starting pitching hasn't been terrible. The hitting has not been really for power, but they've got guys that can hit. Kaggs has really come into his zone. Carter Jensen's played well behind the plate. Salvi is, in the twilight of his career, but still producing. Pasquantino's been a disappointment. Mikel Garcia, who got hurt last night, has played well. You know that he's one of the top three, probably, third basemen in the American League. So uh, they've got the pieces when you look at this team. They've got really good pieces. It just hasn't all come together. And a lot of that has to do with the bullpen. And that is something the Royals desperately need to address in the offseason. They need to build, a 2013, 14, 15 style bullpen. They need to have a lights out bullpen because they've got a couple of starters that can get them that 6 innings, or push to 7, but at least 6. And that used to be the adage with the Royals that, the starting pitcher, if he got you 6 innings and you had the lead, that game's over because the bullpen was so dominant. That is where the Kansas City Royals need to focus their resources this offseason. I don't care about big bats. We've seen teams that didn't have power mashers. And I think Kaggs is going to be a guy, and Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be a guy. You got a couple of guys that hit 25 plus home runs. I think that's fine. I think Pasquantino gets it together, and he could be one of those guys as well. But the thing for the Royals is they don't have to chase some big masher guy. They don't have to have a Kyle Schwarber kind of guy. It'd be great to have, but they don't have to. They can play, some small ball. They can use their speed and they can use their ballpark to their advantage. And that's something that, they did before and they can do again. The problem has been, taking flyers on guys that it looks like, okay, maybe he just needs to change the scenery. And then that's not the case, but then holding on to him for too long. Lucas Erceg was just now sent down. Just now. It should have happened a long time ago. There's a number of guys in this pitching staff that should have already been sent away. But the Royals, for whatever reason, just kept sending, and Q needs to go. I've said it before. I'm not much on the jump on the firing a manager bandwagon, but some of the decisions he's made over the past season and a half, really, 2 seasons, but I really started noticing it halfway through last year. Some of the decisions he makes, it's frustrating. It's inexplicable sometimes. And so, it really feels like he needs to be replaced with somebody that knows how to nurture the young talent. You need a Ned Yost type of guy to step in because you've had all this young talent that is at the major league level right now and nobody to cultivate that talent. So Q needs to go. That's step number 1 in the offseason. And if you do it before the offseason, that's even better because then that gives you a head start on finding somebody, and getting them in place and getting the culture turned around quickly. And so he needs to be gone. I don't care if they continue this 5-game win streak and they win 20 some in a row. I don't care. It's past time. You can't salvage your career at this point because I have zero trust going into next year when they have to start at zero that he can lead this team to a successful season all season long instead of just having a rally late in the year and making the overall record look better, but still missing the playoffs. It's unacceptable. You're in a winnable division if you're the Kansas City Royals. This division was there for your taking, and they blew it. Detroit looked like the team that was going to be, taking control of this division. They blew it. Those teams are disappointments this year, the Royals and the Tigers. The White Sox, nobody expected them to be ready already, but they're 66 and 61, 5 games over 500. It's not like they're running away with this thing. The Rays are at 76 and 51. That's a bigger deal. That's 10-game difference. That's running away with the division. They're 9.5 up on the Yankees. The Rays are. I'm sorry. They're 1 game up on the Yankees. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong deal here. They're 9.5 up in the wild card. The Rays are. They're 4 up on the Yankees. They're starting to run away with that division. But you look at the Central. The White Sox 66 and 61. Nobody else is over 500. Nobody. So this is a division that was there for the taking, and all they had to do was play 500 ball, and they'd be 2 games out if they played 500 ball. That's it. At 500, the Royals would be the third wild card right now, because right now the Twins at 63 and 65 sit there. Think about that. If they were just a 500 team, they would have made the playoffs. And I don't think that they're going to. I don't think that they're going to keep it together for, weeks at a time here. I think they're going to win a couple more games probably on this streak, probably get it to 7, and then that's it. But the schedule doesn't exactly do them any favors over the next couple weeks either. They just finished the sweep of the A's, which is just great. But now they get Detroit, who's just ahead of them, and Toronto and Cleveland. It's not like it's a gauntlet, but it's not the A's anymore. Detroit's a team that should beat the Royals. If the Royals can get 2 out of 3, that's great. They go to Toronto. They have to try to get 2 out of 3. That's the goal here. Get 2 out of 3 of every series the rest of the way. And it's still probably not going to be enough. It's very hard to dig yourself out of the hole that the Royals put themselves in for a second year in a row. After making the playoffs 2 years ago, the last 2 years have been nothing short of disappointments, and that all falls at the feet of the manager. And so I think it's past time for Q to be gone because there's no reason for this. You have all the talent. What is the reasoning that you just can't get the job done? That's the frustrating part of being a Royals fan. Elsewhere across Major League Baseball, it's not so frustrating being a fan of other teams, at least, as the Cubs have played very well here of late. My Cubbies. And they have made a charge on Baltimore. So I got to get all the pop-ups on MLB.com and get you the correct numbers. They're just 5 back of Milwaukee, as are the Cubs. I think I said Baltimore, but I meant the Brewers. Milwaukee at 79 and 49. The Cubs 74 and 54. Just 5 games back. Cubs hold the top wild card spot. They're 6 games up in the wild card. St. Louis trying to chase a wild card spot down there, 2.5 back of a card at 66 and 63. The other 2 teams, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, not over 500 in the NL Central. In the NL East, the Braves 75 and 53. They lead things 5 games up on the Phillies, who are at 70 and 58 and hold the second wild card. The Marlins at 64 and 64, 4 games back a wild card at 500. And then in the NL West, the Dodgers 77 and 51. They are 9 games up on the Padres, who sit at 68 and 60. They hold the last wild card spot. And then 67-61 are the Diamondbacks, just a game out of the wild card spot. The other two teams under 500. So every division in the National League has 2 teams under 500. Everybody else 500 or better. In the AL, as I mentioned, the Rays lead the AL East 76 and 51, 4 games up on the Yankees at 72 and 55. The Yankees hold a wild card spot, the top one actually. The Red Sox also hold a wild card spot at 68 and 59. They hold the second spot. They're 8 games back of the Rays, 5.5 up in the card though. And then the Blue Jays and Orioles are both under 500 now. In the AL Central, like I said, 1 team over 500. That's the White Sox at 66 and 61. 3.5 back on the Twins, or 3.5 up on the Twins, who sit at 63 and 65. The Twins hold the final wild card spot. Then it's the Guardians, Tigers, and Royals. Guardians and Tigers separated by just half a game, and then the Royals back of them, 7 back of the Tigers, 8.5 of the wild card holding Minnesota Twins. So they have to leapfrog a bunch of teams to get there. In the AL West, things aren't much better record-wise, because the Astros lead the AL West at 64 and 64. That's right, they're 500. Everybody else below 500 in the AL West. The Rangers at 63 and 65, right there, tied with Minnesota actually for that last wild card spot. Seattle and Los Angeles much farther back, though. Seattle still just 3 games out of that wild card spot. And that is a look at the American League. And like I said, it's a much different landscape than what the National League is, and the National League is beaten up on the American League this season. So, but yeah, the full scope of things for the Royals, they're giving their fans hope, which is what they do at the end of every year. We've seen this over and over again, and we've seen them fail to make the postseason over and over again. I expect them to fail again. And there's no reason Q should come back for another season, though it'd be very royal for them to bring him back. That is something that I fully expect them to do, because that's what the Royals do. What you should do is come down to Pig Phatz Barbecue. It is 210 East Spruce in Garden City. You can come down and check out the new digs for Pig Phatz Barbecue. They're no longer at the Main Street Food and Brew Hall. Instead, they're at 210 East Spruce. They've got a grand opening menu going on today. It's a limited time menu where they have 5 different plates you can get. The plates are served with 2 sides and a roll. You get a brisket plate, pulled pork plate, rib plate, hot link plate, or pork belly burnt end plate. Or you can get sandwiches, brisket sandwich, pulled pork sandwich, hot link sandwich. Of course, they are also available for catering. They catered to a couple of Garden City Wind games this year. The guys absolutely loved it. So you should come check them out there. Pig Phatz Barbecue, 210 East Spruce in Garden City. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the WNBA, because why not? This is Ridin the Pine, presented by AAA Pond and Armory, right here on Dry River Radio.
When you're hungry for some real Kansas barbecue, there's only one place you need to go, and that's Pig Phatz Barbecue in the Garden City Main Street Food and Brew Hall. Come try out some of Frankie's award-winning brisket or pulled pork. Mix it in with some mac and cheese, or make it a sandwich. And don't forget about the pork belly burn ends, a local favorite. Get there early, because when they sell out, and they sell out fast. So slam that barbecue craving with some Pig Phatz Barbecue. Find them on Facebook for hours and specials. Pig Phatz Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Garden City Wind. Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide, and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big, bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Ridin the Pine here on a Friday. It is Dry River Radio. Joey Dean with you as we are at Phatz Barbecue at 210 East Spruce in Garden City. They are making meals for everybody that is still in line. The line is out the door here at Phatz, their grand opening of their new location, 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Come get yourself something to eat. I ordered a brisket plate with baked beans and coleslaw. That's what I ordered. So Tank's up there getting it ordered for me right now, and looking forward to eating some Phatz barbecue here tonight, and then or this afternoon. Then tonight I'm gonna have me some 1979 food truck at the Cimarron celebration. So if you got nothing to do tonight, come down to the Cimarron celebration in Cimarron, Kansas. A number of things happening in basketball, both the WNBA and the NCAA level. Starting with the WNBA, the controversy, of course. Sophie Cunningham, the controversy surrounded her. All she did was answer a question, and she did it honestly, and I commend her for that. And all these people that have had nothing nice to say, she has handled this so classily. It's been outstanding. She got booed in Toronto, and when asked about it, she said, "Oh yeah, I'm glad they're passionate fans. That's what this is about." It was a perfect answer. She did a fantastic job handling all of this so far. And you look at some of the other people in the WNBA that have not handled any of this well, including the commissioner, who came out today and said, we don't want to be a staging ground for your political movement. Well, what have you been doing? This is 100%. You brought this on yourself, and I fully support the movement of Enos Cantor and Royce White declaring themselves eligible for the WNBA draft. I mean, if we're gonna have a loose interpretation of what a woman actually is, then why not exploit it and close that loophole? That's the same thing that you do, with taxes, and loopholes get closed because people exploit them. It's same thing with gambling and everything else. You know, we've seen it in sports since the dawn of time. The rules have changed in every sport, and the WNBA hasn't. And largely, it's been it's just existed as a subsidy of the NBA. And so now we have this question of where should trans athletes play? How about they play with men? If you're good enough to play in the NBA, then fine. You know, i- if you have a Y chromosome, then you should be playing in the NBA and not the WNBA. That's just the long and short of it. Or create a new league just for trans athletes. But I can't really think that the list is that long of of you're gonna need a couple of hundred athletes to form a league. So it's just this society that we live in now is been crazy, and the fact that we're even having this conversation is very, very frustrating. But I applaud what Sophie Cunningham and company have been able to do. Uh, standing their ground and just being honest. They're not out here driving, holding rallies or whatever. They're just being honest. Like, hey, I don't think it's fair. and they're right. So, yeah, love to hear your thoughts. 620-222-0898, the number. Then we go to the NCAA, which temporarily Shocker fans, including myself and H, got super excited because Kenyon Giles won his appeal in court against the NCAA in Colorado court that said that he could play because he was part of the class of 2022, and the new eligibility rules of the NCAA aren't including the 2022 guys. And so the lawsuit was, he had exhausted his playing eligibility 4 years, but the new rule is 5 years. You have 5 years to play 5 seasons, and he is not getting his fifth season. So they took it to court. They won. And so Kenyon Giles was coming back to Wichita State with an already stacked roster. And then today, there was a stay granted to the NCAA. Now a hearing will be heard on August 31st in a separate case in South Carolina court. And so we'll see if maybe Shocker fans can get excited again. But, Karan Boyd and Kenyon Giles, a couple of guys that they would love to have back. And both of them just waiting to find out the court ruling against the NCAA. Who, they did this themselves with the way that they handled the transfer portal post COVID, during COVID, and then post COVID, the way they've handled the NIL. It's the Wild West out there. Now reports are coming in that a Browns player that went undrafted is now eligible to go back to school. So that's a whole nother deal. We have that in baseball where guys get drafted and they go back for another year and the team owns their rights. And I'm fine with that. And I was argue that that's how NCAA football should be handled anyway, because it really is just a minor league to the NFL. And so I feel like it should just be handled that way anyway. And these guys would have more opportunity to develop and continue to develop in college if it was subsidized by the NFL. But there's plenty of money to be had all over the place. And so nobody's trying to do that right now. But, maybe this is a step in that direction if it is true that this kid that was undrafted and then picked up by the Browns, that he's now able to go back to school, and he'll just be the one who would hold his rights would be the Browns. I'm okay with that. It doesn't mean that guys would should spend multiple years, but if you still got eligibility remaining, why not go back and get a little bit better? And, if a team's already signed you and they have your rights, then, that's so be it. That's what it is. But, I think we're long overdue for overhauling NCAA football, especially when you factor in the NIL money and all of the chaos that goes with that. And then, you're looking at that and everything that's happening in football. And then you look at this situation with basketball with these guys that are just wanting to play their fifth year of eligibility, something that, had they been a year younger, would have gotten. So, I get you have to draw a line somewhere if you're the NCAA. And I think that the guys who were already in school when that decision was made, there was a class of 2022, I think that those guys should be grandfathered in and given a fifth year. But anybody post that, anybody that wasn't playing last season when that decision was made, I think that's where you draw the line. You don't draw it on guys that are in this sport and actively playing, and then draw the line on them. I don't think that's fair to them at all, as their counterparts get that fifth year of eligibility. So I'm hoping the court rules. As a Wichita State fan, I'm really hoping the court rules in favor of the players, and Boyd and Giles get a fifth year of eligibility. That would be fantastic for Wichita State. Like I said, their draft portal class has been lights out. I mean, everybody's talked about how good that class is that they've been able to bring in. Coach Mills has done a fantastic job of recruiting guys in, and so if he can add a couple of conference All-Americans to the mix, Wichita State immediately becomes the favorite in the American, and I'm all for that. I'm all for some barbecue as well, waiting on my order as Tank right now working it out here, but the uh, the deal is Pig Phatz Barbecue, grand opening down here at 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Some more folks coming in the door here as um, the Pig Phatz Barbecue crew has moved locations. They're no longer at the Main Street Food and Brew Hall. They're now in their own standalone location. 210 East Spruce in Garden City will be knocking out a new commercial for them here this weekend, and they will be playing Dry River Radio in their restaurants. So you can come down and hear some of your favorite music and then get your food as well, as it's going to be good stuff down here at Pig Phatz Barbecue, 210 East Spruce in Garden City. We'll take a quick break and come back, finish up the show with the picks. It is Ridin the Pine here on a Friday. It's brought to you by AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas in Garden City.
When you're hungry for some real Kansas barbecue, there's only one place you need to go, and that's Pig Phatz Barbecue in the Garden City Main Street Food and Brew Hall. Come try out some of Frankie's award-winning brisket or pulled pork. Mix it in with some mac and cheese, or make it a sandwich. And don't forget about the pork belly burn-ins, a local favorite. Get there early, because when they sell out, and they sell out fast. So slam that barbecue craving with some Pig Phatz Barbecue. Find them on Facebook for hours and specials. Pig Phatz Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Garden City Wind. Graph Inc. is your printing solution nationwide and the only place I do my printing business. Hello everyone, it's me, Joey Dean. When I need business cards, flyers, banners, or even just graphic design, I call my friends at Graph Inc. They can print you pretty much anything and have it arrive at your door in short order. Scale tickets, carbon sheets, or whatever you need printed. The professionals at Graph Inc. will make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. They're a 24/7 printer too, so don't worry if it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. They will still make sure you're taken care of. Find them online at gigc.us. The only place I trust for my printing needs is Graph Inc.
Advances in technology have made hearing a more fashionable thing. Gone are the big bulky hearing aids of yesteryear, and in are more sleek, modern, and connected devices. Connect to your TV, your phone, and the world around you. If you are having trouble with hearing, then schedule a free hearing test at Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas with convenient locations in Dodge City, Garden City, and Liberal. More and more people of all ages are starting their journey towards better hearing, and you can too. Visit miracle-ear.com today to schedule a free hearing test. Miracle Ear of Southwest Kansas. You deserve to hear a better day.
If you need a place to cash your paycheck or are looking for a little extra cash, stop by AAA Pawn and Armory. AAA Pawn and Armory has a wide selection of slightly used items such as TVs, guitars, golf clubs, tools, jewelry, and more. They also have a large inventory of rifles, shotguns, and handguns, as well as ammo in stock. So whether you are looking for your next firearm, TV, or other item, or you just need to cash a check or pawn something for a little extra money, don't go anywhere but AAA Pawn and Armory, 132 West Kansas Avenue in Garden City.
Welcome back, bench warmers. It is Ridin the Pine here on a Friday on Dry River Radio. I'm Joey Dean. Got one segment left for you as we're live at Pig Phatz Barbecue, 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Get on down here. He'll be open this weekend and open until they sell out. And I got to take a nice tour. H and I did yesterday of the new building. They still got another half of the building that they are eventually going to open up for overflow seating, but they wanted to get opened on this one side first, and they have done that. It's a really cool design on the interior with the checkerboard tablecloths and everything, so come out and check them out. 210 East Spruce in Garden City. Let's wrap things up with our picks for the day. Big thank you to Southwest Kansas Miracle Ear for being a sponsor of Ridin the Pine. 3:10 today on ESPN Unlimited and MLB.TV. The Braves and the Brewers, two of the best teams in the National League, or at least two of the teams with the best record. It'll be Chris Sale against Mizorowski. This is going to be a heck of a matchup. I'm sad that it's a 3:10 game and not a prime time, evening game. So I'm bummed I'm not going to get to watch it as I'm going to be preparing for Cimarron Celebration. But I might listen to it on the radio a little bit as Chris Sale, 12-8 on the year, 2.16 ERA. Jake Mizrowski, 12-5 on the year, 1.75 ERA. It is basically a push when you look at the odds on this game. I'm going to take the Brewers at home. They're in Milwaukee. But surprisingly, tickets as low as $15 to that game. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, go check that one out. 5:40 on MLB TV. It's Cardinals at Phillies from Citizens Bank Park. Dobbins against Luzardo. Give me the Phillies at home over the Cardinals. 6:05 on MLB TV. Blue Jays at the Yankees from the Bronx. Flaherty going for the Blue Jays. Schlittler going for the Yankees. Go Jays. I can't take the Yankees at home. You know I can't do that. Give me the Jays. Giants at Red Sox, 6:10 on MLB TV from Fenway Park. Webb going for the Giants. Gray going for the Red Sox. Give me Sonny Gray and the Red Sox. They played not as good as you'd hope this year, but I like Sonny Gray a lot. $93. Tickets as low as $93 for that game at Fenway. That's crazy. Nationals at Marlins. 6:10 on MLB.TV. The Nationals hung around for a while. The Marlins still hanging around in the wild card talk, but the Nationals, looked like they might be, this might be the year. No, not so much. Lord going for the Nationals. Gusto going for the Marlins. Go Nats on the road. Give me the Nats in an upset. Tickets as low as $9 in Miami, Florida, by the way. 6:15 on Apple TV. The Rays in the first place in the AL East, taking on the Orioles, who, once again, just like the Nationals, hung around for a while. Thought maybe, and then no. Orioles were a disappointment last year. Another disappointing season this year. Peralta going for the Rays. Rogers going for the O's. Give me the Rays on the road, though, over the Birds. 6:40 on MLB TV. Mets at White Sox. Sean Manaea going for the Mets. Burke going through for the White Sox. Give me the White Sox. Another team that's been super disappointing is the Mets. A's at Astros, 7:10 on MLB TV from Houston, Texas. Ginn going for the A's. Wazinski going for the Astros. Astros making a charge in that West they right now hold the top spot in the West, and they're looking to make the playoffs yet again. Give me the Astros at home. 7:10 on MLB TV. Tigers at Royals. Melton going for the Tigers. Noah Cameron going for the Kansas City Royals. He's been great lately since he started calling his own pitches. So give me Noah Cameron and the Royals to go to 6 games won in a row. 7:15 on Apple TV. It's Angels at Rangers from Globe Life Field in Arlington. Detmer is going for the Angels. Mackenzie Gore going for Texas. Give me the Rangers at home. 7:40 on MLB TV. The Guardians at the Rockies. Cantillo going for the Guardians. Rockies. It'll be Gordon. Give me Cantillo and the Guardians on the road. 8:40 on MLB TV. Reds at Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks just a game out of a playoff spot right now. They'll send a Rodriguez out there. Lodolo going for the Reds. Give me the Diamondbacks at home. 8:40 on MLB TV from Petco Park. It'll be the Twins at the Padres. Prelip going for the Twins. Vasquez going for the Padres. Give me the Padres helping out the Royals a little bit. They're in the AL Central. 9:10 on MLB TV. The Pirates at the Dodgers from Dodger Stadium. Chandler going for the Pirates. Yamamoto going for the Dodgers. Yeah, give me Yamamoto and the Dodgers. And finally, 9:10 on MLB TV. Cubs at Mariners from T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Boyd going for the Cubs. Hancock going for the Mariners. Boyd, I'll tell you what, getting him back from the IL has been huge for the Cubs. They've played really good baseball of late. The Mariners are fading. Give me the Cubbies on the road. That is our picks for today. And don't forget to text me and tell me how wrong I am throughout the week. 620-222-0898 is the number you can do that. Once again, we're going to wrap things up here from Pig Phatz Barbecue in Garden City. 210 East Spruce is the address. Come on down here. As you can see, people coming in the door as the line is out the door currently and all the way over there. Tanks got a heaping of food here What do you got over there, Tank? It looks like pulled pork is what Tank's got. Let's lower that down. There we go. Now he can show you what he's got there. Pulled pork, potato salad, and beans, Tank's plate today. So big thank you to AAA Pawn and Armory, as well as Southwest Kansas Miracle and Pig Phatz Barbecue as well. As we'll join you again next Friday for another episode of Riding the Pine here on Dry River Radio. Have a great weekend, everyone, and make sure you stay safe. It's going to be warm again, but make sure you enjoy it as well because summer is coming to an end. And before you know it, fall will be here. Talk to you later. This has been Riding the Pine, presented by AAA Pawn and Armory right here on Dry River Radio.